Hey, what you say, food family? Mike here, and welcome back to the channel for another great culinary adventure. Today we're changing things up and making my new favorite breakfast item, the breakfast fatty. It's a bacon wrapped sausage log stuffed with ham, cheese, more sausage, with hard-boiled eggs in the middle. It can't be beat. So whether you're headed out to the ballpark early to tailgate and drink before noon, planning a big family weekend breakfast, or just want to change up your weekly meal plan and do something different, stick around, I'll show you how it's done. Let's get cooking. Alright folks, the first step in making this ultimate breakfast fatty is to make a bacon weave mat. Now as you see in front of me, I got 8 pieces of bacon laid horizontally on a large piece of wax paper. The wax paper is key because we're going to actually use that to help roll this thing up in the end, so don't skip that step and do this straight on your countertop. So we got 8 pieces of bacon horizontally. I got 7 more pieces that's going to go vertically weaved in there. Now there's a couple ways to do these things. I like to just take every other piece, fold it back, lay my new strip down vertically, fold those back, and vice versa, and continue on. There's millions of ways to weave bacon out there. Figure out how you like to do it and get it done. So I'm gonna go ahead, we'll zoom in, I'll show you my method. When we come back, we'll get to the next step of making this ultimate breakfast fatty. Alright, so they're slightly confusing, not the most difficult thing in the world, just a little tedious to wrap that bacon, but it's important because just rolling bacon around this, it'll fall apart, it won't come out good at the end. So with this bacon wrap done, or weave, the next step to do is we're going to put a layer of sausage down on top of this. Now I'm using a couple different kinds of sausages today. You can do whatever you want, breakfast sausage, spicy sausage, sweet, Italian, you name it. That's the great thing about this recipe. There is no right or wrong ingredient to use. Just stuff it full of meat and be happy. So I'm going to put down a layer of spicy sausage today for this one. Now this layer, we're just going to try to fill out evenly over the entire thing. Leave a little bit of room at the edges because we are going to be rolling this up, so you don't want to get it too tight in there. Now that we got our first layer of sausage down, I'm going to go ahead and bust out the next 3 layers real quick. It's just a layer of ham, cheese, and then ham again. Now you can use any type of cheese. Today I'm going spicy with pepper jack, American, cheddar, whatever you like. As for the ham, I'm just using a standard Black Forest ham, but use what you have on hand or change it out with some other sandwich meats that you like. Let's bust out these 3 layers. We'll come back and we'll make that middle layer because it's a little special on its own. Alright folks, our outer layers of this breakfast fatty are ready to go. The next step is to make that final central inner layer. Now this one's kind of special. It's almost like a roll of Scotch eggs. So a Scotch egg is a soft-boiled egg wrapped with sausage, usually dipped and then fried. But today we're just going to do the sausage and the egg. Now I went ahead and pre-made some soft-boiled eggs. You can use up to a medium-boiled egg, but the thing is you don't want to go full hard-boiled because this is going to be baked and they'll be overcooked in the end. So try to do a soft to medium-boiled egg for this central layer. Now I'm going to take my sausage. Now this time I'm just using regular pork sausage. But again, use whatever flavor or type of sausage you want here. I'm going to leave it mostly intact. But I'm just going to slightly spread it out lengthwise because we're going to wrap this around our eggs. And then we're simply going to place our eggs straight across. And when you're boiling and peeling eggs, pro tip here, the older they are, the easier they're going to peel. So try to use 2 or 3 week old eggs out of your fridge if you want to peel them, because they just peel easier. That membrane comes away from the shell. Just a little tip I've learned over time. All right, now we got our eggs in the middle of our roll. We're just going to bring these two sides together and complete this little middle Scotch egg section. All right, we got a little middle Scotch egg central part of this ultimate breakfast fatty ready to go. So all we got to do is roll this together and make a single log. So like I said, the wax paper, parchment paper comes in handy here. I'm gonna come up and over. Try to keep everything nice and tight. Kind of squeeze it together as you go. I'm gonna bring this bottom part up. And that's why you want to have a little bit of extra bacon gap there if you can. But simply bring this together. Now remember which side's your seam side down, because that's what's going to go to the bottom. You can grill, bake, or smoke this breakfast fatty, so just remember which side's seam side down. I'm going to go ahead and roll this over, complete my log. Nice and tight. Now what we gotta do is wrap this with saran wrap, throw it in the fridge for a couple hours. You can make this ahead of time, the night before, that'd be fine as well. But you want all this to set together and kind of form up into a nice loaf before you start cooking it. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We'll throw it in the fridge. We'll come back and see you in a couple hours. All right, folks, welcome back. It's been a couple hours. Our breakfast fatty has set up. Like I said, you can do this the night before as well. The only thing left to do is cook this bad boy. Now today I'm going to be cooking mine in the oven, real simple, 350 degrees. It takes about 2 hours. I will be using a temperature probe to monitor that. Otherwise, you can put this on indirect heat on your grill or smoke this in your smoker. So that being said, let's unwrap the plastic here. And I am going to be cooking this on an elevated rack just so the grease from the bacon and stuff can drain and keep everything nice and crispy. All sides. Find that seam, which is right there. So I'm just going to roll this over. Now, before I start cooking this, normally I just put a temperature probe in the top. Thankfully, our sides are open because we want the internal temperature of the sausage that's surrounding the eggs. You don't want to put your probe in there and get the temperature of the eggs, because that's not going to tell you when that sausage is cooked. That's the one thing you have to make sure that gets cooked in this breakfast fatty. Let me find my sausage layer. I'll just go right in the side there. And I'll hook that up to my wireless thermometer. So other than that, I'm going to throw this in the oven, 350 degrees, 2 hours like I said. We'll come back, check it out, give it a taste test. But since it is just before noon, for my tailgaters out there, share a drink with you. Cheers. All right, see you in a couple hours. All right, folks, welcome back. Our breakfast fatty has done cooked in the oven. We got 265 degrees internal temperature on that sausage. You can go a little less. You don't have to get to 165 for pork anymore, but we're playing it safe. So that being said, let's slice into this thing and see how it turned out. Look at that delicious breakfast fatty, folks. Bacon wrapped, sausage stuffed, egg, ham, and cheese. I don't know what else to say about this. Let's cut ourselves off a slice, give it a taste test, and see how it turned out. I'm just going to dig right in. Absolutely delicious, folks. As always, we nailed this one. You get that crispy bacon on the outside, that spicy pork next layer, get down to the ham, the pepper jack cheese, a little another bite, and those eggs in the middle. Completes this dish in one bite. It's a single bite. It's so good. It's so delicious. You need to make it for yourself. So make sure to check the link in the description below. That'll see you on my website with a recipe card that has all the exact ingredients, amounts, and timing you need to make this delicious breakfast fatty, the ultimate sausage stuffed egg, ham, and cheese breakfast fatty of your life. Whether you're going to tailgate and drink before noon, you're planning a big weekend family breakfast, or just want a meal prep for your next week at work, this breakfast fatty is going to do it for you. So that being said, Mike here signing off, and until next time, folks, just keep cooking. I got a few days work here in a container. I got leftovers for the family. I got some vodka in my cup. Life is good, folks. Life is good.